make one stream this week. I've been so busy. So let me explain why you haven't seen me in a month. I'm sorry. So basically, as you guys know, what month is it right now? May? Oh my gosh. So a while back we had some family stuff, and so at the beginning of May, end of April, beginning of May, I went back to my home galaxy to see my family for like a week because it was Golden Week here in Japan, and that was a pretty fun week. My home galaxy is a bit colder than Japan, so I had to go through my allergy season twice. Basically, Japan had my allergy season in March, like mid-March, and my home galaxy has my allergy season at the end of April, first week of May. So I had my allergy season twice. I went there, and I was like, hi, Mom. And Mom's like, hi. And then I was like, wow, that's a beautiful tree. What is that? And my mom's like, that's a sakura. Shouldn't you know? And I was like, oh, yeah. Achoo! And I kind of feel like a bunch of flowers that were like slightly different seasons were out at the same time. The ones that were really getting me were the apple blossoms, which Japan does not have a lot of. Oh my gosh! I'll post pictures later, but the apple blossoms were gorgeous! Really pretty! But oh my gosh! I was like, I can't breathe or see or anything, but glad to be here. So that was a week. I got to see some of my cousins. We had like a nice little wake from my grandma. I have a ring that has my grandma inside of it, which isn't grotesque at all. So, my grandma wanted to be cremated, right? This is like slightly too much information, maybe. Thank you, Cypher! Thank you! I'm back! You're gonna get your luminium filled! Just filling up your luminium tanks. Hopefully a little bit at least. I mean, I'll do honestly a short chat stream because I have so much work, you don't understand. So much work. So I've got a chatting stream today, and then I will see if I can stream the Anime North meet and greet. I'm gonna ask to see if I can stream that because it's like a mini concert and meet and greet. And so I might see if I can stream the mini concert portion of it at least. I might stream both, but then it might be kind of weird because it's like, who are you talking to? But I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I'll see what I can do if I can do it. If I can just stream the mini portion, the mini concert, that would probably be best. But I don't really know if I can just stream half of it or not. Like that seems complicated, and I'm not very good at complicated things. Anyway, so my grandma was like, I want to be cremated, and then we were like, can we stuff you inside of things? And grandma was like, yeah, you do you. So I have, my grandma's favorite flower was a daisy. And so I found like a ring that had like a daisy on it that you can put things inside of. So, that's where grandma is now. One of my cousins got a necklace. So she can also wear grandma all around. And then, of course, there's like some urns and stuff too, like, you know. Split grandma up into a few different places, but we all had a lot of fun. We went through like some letters and stuff from like, you know, the past where like grandma cheered us on, and it was very cathartic and was a lot of fun. And I'm glad I got to be with my family, even if my allergies were like bleh. But yeah, it's a very gorgeous area, and there was a house for sale, and I was like, I want it, but no, I don't live in that galaxy, so I can't. I was like, but this house is my dream house, so I'm like, can I get it? No, anyway, my tax person does recommend I get investment properties, but I don't even know what that means. So like, I don't know. I'm an internet person. What's an investment property? So anyway, then I came back, and then my manager was like, hey, you want to go to Philippines? And I was like, I guess. And they're like, okay, let's go. And I was like, oh, we're going. Okay. So then I went to the Philippines the next week. So I got back on Monday night, and then Friday I left for the Philippines. And the thing is, I really enjoyed myself and the event, and of course everybody at the event. But I got some really funny stories of like Venice levels of hilarity. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. Okay, so we leave Friday morning. And we get to Manila at around 6 p.m. And after we get through immigration and everything, so it's me and like a couple comedians and our manager. And so we get through customs and immigration and everything, and we go straight to the venue because we're going to do a sound check that night. Because the comedians start fairly early in the morning, around 11 o'clock. So they thought it would be best to do the sound check at night. So we get to the venue at around 7:30 or 8. And I'm like, okay, not gonna be a problem. I'm pretty hungry, haven't eaten in a while, but it's okay. I'll have dinner after sound check, and then I'll have a nice sleep. It'll be great. I was wrong. I was wrong so wrongly. The current people that were doing sound check were like a taiko unit. Like they were idols, but they also played taiko. And it was, 7:30 maybe? And everybody's set lists are only a half hour long. So I was like, okay, they're going to take maybe a half hour, maybe a little bit longer because, drums take a while to put up and take down. Not a problem. Can't possibly take longer than an hour. And then after them, there was one other very short group, like a magician or something. So I wasn't really worried about the magician because they have their own props. They know what they're doing, right? I was wrong about the taiko, though. Oh my gosh. So after about 2 hours of listening to things not really happening with the sound check, I would like to reiterate here, this is sound check. This is not rehearsal. This is sound check. And a lot of people use sound check as a bit of a stage rehearsal. That's fine. But what we're really supposed to be doing during a sound check, for those of you that don't know, what a sound check is really supposed to check is, where you're supposed to be on stage. You have the right microphone. The sound people can play your files, and you can hear your files and sing to it, or whatever you're doing. Or I guess play taiko to it. So it's not that complicated. It's really not that complicated. And it's supposed to not be that, time consuming. You're not supposed to go through your whole set, okay? You're supposed to make sure each song works. So maybe do about half the song, and once you're like, yep, this is working, you move on, right? So if I have a half hour set list, which is gonna be 6 to 7 songs depending on the length of the songs, my sound check will not include the MC because that has nothing to do with the sound. It will only be the songs and making sure that the sound people know which songs get MC in between them and which ones don't. Which ones you talk in between and which ones you don't. And that's all you're checking. So if I have a half hour set list with 6 or 7 songs, my sound check's gonna be somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes tops. If something is going kind of wrong, if the sound isn't good and I have to keep asking for changes, oh please, more voice in the monitors, or more music in the monitors, or less reverb or something like that, could take a bit longer. But if your set list is a half an hour, it should never take longer than your set list, because you really shouldn't be doing the whole song. Anyway, so about 2 hours into the taiko, I'm like, okay, I think this is going on too long, because it's now nearly 9 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm hungry. What are they even checking at this point? So I talked to some of the staff, and I'm like, hey, when was their sound check supposed to end? Because we're supposed to have a sound check. Yeah. And they were like, oh, should only be another 20 minutes. And I'm like, 20 more minutes for a 30-minute set. Okay, got it. So another hour passes, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? At this point in time, it's 1:00,000 at night, and I'm like, and yeah, so yeah, I'm a very easygoing kind of celestial being, but I'm getting cranky and tired, and I should mention, we're outside. Let me tell you something about the Philippines recently. It's hot. We're outside. With nothing, no cover. It's so hot. It's okay, I came from Japan, which was maybe 23 degrees Celsius, which is, 75 degrees. It's beautiful, okay? And then I had just recently come from my home galaxy, which was maybe 19 degrees Celsius. Gorgeous, okay? Temperatures Lumin likes, because you see how many layers I wear? So many. So then we're in Manila where it's like 35 degrees. And at night it's like 30 maybe. Oh, so cool. So you get 30 degrees and 400% humidity. Okay, so the air was solid. Like, the air was like a liquid. I could not breathe. And we had been out here for like 3 hours. And I was like, I'm hot and sticky and are we gonna sound check or not today? But I will say, great for my voice, this weather. I was like, you know what my voice sounds good in? Humidity. You know what I want to not be in anymore? Also humidity. Both those things. So anyway, I'm like, hey, okay, and one thing I need you guys to know about how sound checks usually work is if you need a longer period of time than your allotted sound check, you get moved to the end. So, like, say you have an hour for sound check. If it's like 15, 20 minutes over, okay. Like, sure, we're all just gonna be 15, 20 minutes late. But if you're like 2.5 hours over your sound check allotment, what I would do if I were running an event is I'd be like, hey, we'll get back to you later because something seems to be wrong. So we'll get back to you. And like, I would like to point out here that nothing seemed to be wrong. Their tracks kept playing, and kind of what everybody was wondering is why. So I did ask the staff, I'm like, what are they checking? And they're like, oh, well, it's not what they're looking for, so like they're just gonna run through the whole thing. And I'm like, but they're like, because we can hear them. I'm like, they're not asking for changes. Are they not just practicing right now? Do they know there's people after them? And they're like, yeah, but they can't quite hear properly. And I'm like, well, that's how lives work. You can't quite hear properly. Like, not to be like a strict senpai or anything, but like, it's hard to perform live, okay? Let's just understand this. Performing live is not easy. You can't quite hear properly a lot of the time. You just have to like know that that's a thing and be like, okay, I probably sing here. Like, that's just how it works. Like, you can kind of hear it, and as long as you can kind of catch it and you know your song really well, you should be fine. And like, you guys are playing drums, so my feeling is, it's fine. Like, it's fine. You're drummers. Anyway, so yeah, after about 3 hours, I was like, are you gonna make them move on? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then the magicians went. They finished in 20, 30 minutes. Good job, guys. Good job. Great magicians, by the way. And I was like, okay, we're on track. But then they were like, no, the Taiko people need to check one more thing. It'll only take 10 minutes. And I was like, am I gonna hate Taiko after this? Guys, let me tell you, I do. I was really into Taiko up until about a week ago. Anyway. So, then the Taiko people came back. They came back. And they did their whole set list again. From the start to the end. No. I was like, are they professionals? I looked them up. I was being petty. I was like, I'm gonna look them up. So I looked them up and I'm like, oh, no, they're not. Okay, now I understand. They have no idea what they're doing. And so I was like, okay, they're very cute though. And so then they finished. But the interesting thing is, it is now after midnight. That's right. I flew into Manila at like 7 p.m. and I have been waiting in 30 plus degree weather for like 4 hours. And now it's after midnight, so they can't have loud music blaring. But that's what I'm checking! That's the sound check! It's not the event's fault, but like, I'm sitting there like, then what am I checking now? What am I doing here? And they're like, you can come back at 8 a.m. And I'm like, not anymore! I'm not gonna I need my booty sleep. So I was like, whatever. Like, I've been here for 4 hours. Let's just go. And so, like, I know I'm only gonna take 15 minutes because, hey, I know my songs. Like, we're good. Like, I know what I sound like in sound systems. I've done this before. So I was like, yeah, just fine. So basically, all they could play, they couldn't play the outside sound because it was too loud, because like there's laws in place about loudness after like 11 p.m. or something like that. So they could only play the inside sound, which is what I listened to as the performer. But the problem is, let me explain the problem here. The problem is that the inside sound is generally a lot quieter than the outside sound. So sometimes when you're inside the stage, you can only hear the outside sound. It overpowers the inside sound. But what's being played outside is slightly off time. So if I were to sing to the outside sound, I'd be late the whole time, right? I'd be like half a beat late. It would be really icky sounding. So generally what sound checks are really for is balancing inside and outside for that performer and that song. So if the outside sound cannot be played, I don't need to check the inside sound if it's not like struggling with the outside sound. Like, it's gonna be fine. So I was like, oh, so I'm not actually checking anything right now. Got it. Okay, well, I'll just run through it and see what happens. And I was like, day of, here are my signs if I need the inside louder. If I point to the ground and then point up, I need the music louder. If I point to my mic and then I point up, I need me louder. If I do both, I want both louder. Or I'll just tell you in the middle of the MC. And they're like, okay. So like basically there was no point in me doing that sound check. But anyway, I finished in 15 minutes, but then it was time for my comedian friends and we all took the same car. So, okay, I had sent my music files not weeks, but like a week ahead of time. I prepared everything while I was in my home Galaxy and I had sent it to the management and everything. I had one set that had video, so that I could play like the anime videos behind my songs. Like, for instance, the Nikkei song would have the Nikkei girls, the Naruto song would have the Naruto opening or ending or whatever along with it, so that it looked really pretty on stage. And they couldn't check that for some reason. And so again, I was like, why am I doing this? This tech check is not checking my tech. And I'm like, it's fine. We'll just figure it out. So what we had decided to do was Saturday, we would try and run it with the video Sunday. And if it worked, we would do it Sunday. If it didn't work Saturday, we would try and get it to work Sunday because I was performing both days. So in the end, it didn't quite work for either day. It didn't quite work for either day. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so then the comedians went. And for some reason, the sound check did not quite understand what the comedians were doing. And so it did not go well. So they had said initially that, oh yeah, we're only going to take about 15, maybe 20 minutes because there's like 5 groups of the comedians, but they just needed to make sure that their sound worked because they don't actually really need to hear it that well. They just need to make sure it's playing. So they were like, yeah, we're just going to run through each one, make sure there's like a spot for our props, and then we're good to go. And I was like, awesome, I can wait 15 minutes. I've already waited for billion years, so I can wait 15 minutes, not a problem. An hour later, I was like, what's happening? It's like 1 a.m. I'm so tired. It's 1 a.m. and Lumin is continuing to be in 30-degree weather. Hungry. Cranky. So I was like, what's going on? Oh, by the way, the Taiko girls came out and they were like, "Otsukaresama desu." And I was like, "Otsukare." I was being petty. I was like, "Otsukare." Otsukare. What did I eat? Nothing! Nothing! I didn't eat anything! I'm so hungry! I had a bottle of water and I was nursing that bottle. I was like, 1 bottle of water. It was so hot! I was so hangry. But I was being really polite. Like, it's not the staff's fault. Like, I mean, well, it's not the, like, event staff's fault. It's the sound. They were using like a contractor for the sound and I don't think they knew what was going on, and kind of nobody really spoke Japanese that well. So like it was a bit hard to communicate. Like, I'm fine cuz I speak English, but yeah. So like I think all of the bilingual staff had gone home at that point cuz it was 1 a.m. and the event starts at like 8 a.m. so like they need sleep. And I'm just like, I don't think there's a point in us being here anymore. Like at like the sound check, I think we should go. So I told my staff, I was like, I need to sleep now. I need to eat something and I need to sleep. And they were like, okay, so half of the comedians had finished their sound check. So let's take the half that have finished and you back to the hotel. And I was like, great plan, let's go. So we go to the hotel. You are not ready for this. You guys are not ready for this. So I had told my good friend the name of this hotel, and my friend was like, what? And I was like, what do you mean? And my friend's like, go there and find out what I mean. And I was like, okay. So I go to the hotel. It's got a cute theme, let me just tell you right now. As a celestial being, I was on board with the theme of this hotel. It was space themed. I was like, I'm space themed. What a great hotel. It's for what? For the purpose of the hotel. It serves its purpose. But it's not the type of hotel I had been expecting. I'm not saying it's a bad hotel. It's not a bad hotel. It's just got a specific purpose that is not the purpose I was expecting. Oops, I had mismanaged expectations. That's on me. I did not book this hotel. The event booked this hotel. The event had asked if we needed any kind of amenities, to which we were like, nothing special. So this is partially on us for not being very specific. It's not for sleeping. This hotel is not for sleeping. Yeah. So, So I get to the hotel. It's very cute. It's very, very space themed. It's specifically like astro science kind of themed. It's got like some like everybody's wearing like these really cute like spacesuit looking uniforms. Very cute. Very cute. And then I am shown to my room, and I get in the room, and I'm like, oh, there's a bed. There's a bed. We're doing okay so far. I'm like, I have to, by the way, really pee. I had to really pee really bad because I had been on a plane and then waiting for sound check for like so many hours. I had not peed in like 12 hours, and so I was like, it is time to pee. So then I go into the bathroom, which I did notice. The door of the bathroom had like a punch hole in it. Like somebody had punched the door really hard. And I was like, I mean, sometimes people get mad. I get it. Maybe they didn't have time to fix it. That's fine. I get it. It happens, right? There's punch holes in walls and doors sometimes. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Especially if you go to like animation studios, there's often punch holes in walls. Anyway, fine. And then I, see the toilet. There is a lack of toilet paper. But I'm like, I have tissues. I always have tissues. Not a problem. I got tissues. Not a big deal. And then I'm like, I am hot, so I will take a shower. Now, I was unaware in my life that I would come across a hotel that does not have hot water. I was like, oh. I mean, I wanted to relax, so I was hoping for hot water, but it's really hot. I guess I can take a cold shower. And as far as like toiletries and amenities, nothing. But it's okay. I plan ahead. I had toothpaste. I had toothbrush. I had shampoo. I had conditioner. I bring it all with me. It's not a problem. I'm okay. I did want hot water, but it's okay. It's okay. Now, I will say right here that the air conditioning in that room was very, very cold. And then the shower was cold. But I was like, not a problem. I'll wrap up in the blanket afterwards and I'll be okay. Right? Right? Wrong! There's no blanket! Yeah. I don't really like cold showers that much because I don't feel like my hair is clean, and it's also really hard to get my makeup off when the shower is cold. Right? If you don't have people who don't wear makeup, one thing I want to let you know is that a lot of makeup does not come off easily in cold water, but it comes off fairly easily in hot water. So in order to get my makeup off, it took a lot more time and product than I normally like to use on my face, and it's a little bit harsher. And also, like, shampoo and stuff like that lathers up better with warm water than it does with cold water. So there's, like, a couple reasons. Also, like, when you, like, shave your, like, legs and stuff like that, hot water relaxes the pores, like the cuticles a little bit better, so you get a smoother shave. Stuff you guys probably don't think about, but as a performer, I want to look really cute. So I was gonna do like, a full spa kind of situation, but the shower was cold. And I was like, I don't feel as sparkly. So that made me a little bit sad because I wanted to be sparkly. And then the room itself was really cold because they had the air conditioner on it full blast. And I was like, it's okay. I will wrap up in a blanket, but then there's no blanket. And I was like, wait, I'm cold. And then I messaged my friend. I'm like, there's no blanket and the water is cold. And my friend's like, well, that hotel's not for sleeping. I'm like, what do you mean? My friend's like, that hotel's a love hotel. And I was like, I'm in a love hotel right now? Oh, by the way, there's no windows in the room, just so you know. Like, I'm in like a capsule. Like it's like a room, but it's smaller than my bathroom. It's really small. And there's no windows, there's no like outlets. I had to unplug the TV to plug in my phone, which was dying. Which is fine. I don't mind. As long as there's one plug, I'm good. But now I know why there was no blanket is because this hotel is not for sleeping. Oh no, it's not for resting. It's for not resting. It's for physical activities. So, I did look at the sheet that was on the bed. It was covered in what I can only assume was blood splatter. Somebody had a lot of fun in this hotel, let me just say. Or not fun, one of the two. It definitely had blood splatter. I was like, ooh, I don't think I want to sleep on this sheet directly. So I took my towel, which had hair dye on it, but it was definitely washed. And so was the sheet. The sheet was washed. It's just, it was blood splatter. You know what I mean? Like, I know what that looks like for reasons. Reasons. So I was like, oh, that was blood. It's clean blood. They cleaned it, but it was, and I don't want to think about it. So I just put the towel on top of the bloody part. But the towel was covered in blue hair dye. Fine, I get it. I have dyed hair. It's fine. It happens. It comes off. Cool. And I was like, I'm gonna wrap up in my sweater that I'm so glad I brought with me. All my friends were like, don't bring a sweater, it's really hot in the Philippines. And I'm like, but airplanes are cold, so I'm gonna bring my sweater. I'm so glad I brought that sweater because it was so cold in that hotel. And I just wrapped up and I shivered the whole night through. So by the time I get to bed, it's about 2 a.m. It's not a restful sleep because there's people coming in and out of the rooms next door and across the way a lot. Lots of giggling, lots of yelling. I'm sure they're having a great time, hopefully. But I did not get much sleep. So I wake up around 7, my 5 hours of sleep. And I'm like, oh, I think I want to go get some tea. But then I text my friend, like, I think I'm going to go get tea. And my friend's like, do not leave your hotel. And I was like, why not? And my friend's like, it's not safe. And I'm like, but the tea place is like a minute away. And my friend's like, do not leave your hotel. No. And I was like, not for tea? And my friend's like, no, wait till I get there. And I was like, okay. Okay. Yeah, people were using the rooms for their intended purposes. It's not my fault. I came to the wrong, like, I was wrong. I was in the wrong hotel for my needs. The hotel does a great job at catering to those that need its services. It's very affordable, cute. It's got a cute motif. It had, like, a lot of beers options. I just don't drink beer. It didn't have a lot of not beer options. But it had a lot of booze options for those that want that. It had instant noodles for those that want that. I did not partake in that either because they make me puff up and I didn't want to be the bloatiest when I was on stage. So I was just like, I won't eat then. So the next morning I'm like, I'm going to go get some tea. And my friend says, do not leave the hotel for any reason until I get there. And I was like, oh, okay. My friend said that the area we were in is not safe. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just like starving. I had eaten all of the throat drops in my bag. I had like honey throat drops that were supposed to be for like the plane, and I was just like, I haven't eaten in nearly 24 hours. And then I get a message from my manager who was like, we're changing hotels. And I was like, eh? And then I hear a knock on the door, and the hotel front guy is like, are you leaving? And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And he was like, oh no, what was the problem? And I was like, well, I think, I just want hot water. And he was like, I can boil you some. So sweet. I can boil you some. And I was like, no, it's okay. I was like, it's okay. I was like, this is such a cute hotel, but I think our party is just gonna move to another hotel. And he's like, who exactly? Because a lot of the people at the event are staying at this hotel. And I was like, oh, these couple of people, but I don't know if there's anyone else. But, thank you so much. Like, you guys have been really nice. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I felt really bad. And I was the only one that spoke English in my party, so I had to feel this one. And I was like, I feel really bad, but I really, like, it's a cute hotel. It's just not what we needed this time. He was like, okay, next time. And I'm like, sure. So I guess, I don't know. Maybe not for me, but okay. He was so cute. No, he was lovely. He's like, I'll come to the show. And I was like, oh, thank you. He was really nice. So I will say, 10 out of 10 sweet staff. Really sweet. The hotel serves the purposes of the people that need that type of hotel. Like, not a problem. I have nothing against. It's really funny though, because I stayed in a love hotel. Like, it's really funny. It was my first time at a love hotel. One of the people that stayed in that hotel was from a different group, and he ended up being upgraded to the VIP room. His bed did rotate. He was having a grand old time. He made like a bunch of YouTube shorts out of it. So, like, honestly, fine. Yeah, made for a good story. And I have nothing against the event. I think the event, one of the sponsors was this chain of hotels. And I don't think the event really knew because it was a lot of Japanese event people. So I don't think they knew. And, like, none of us knew. It's just, this happens when you do overseas events. We just have different expectations. And now we know. It's not a problem. So then we moved to the Swiss Belmont, which is a hotel in Chinatown. And then I learned all about Manila's Chinatown, which is apparently the oldest Chinatown in the world. It was made in the 1500s. I was like, what? I didn't know that. And yeah, Swiss Belmont was much more the type of hotel we were envisioning. It had hot water, toilet paper, and there was like soap and stuff. I love that. So yeah, yay! Event sponsored by a love hotel. They were sponsored by it's like the owner of the hotel. Like, so the type of hotel it is, it's like a big chain of hotels, and they have love hotels. They have, oh wait, hold on. Somebody's at the door. Chatamate! Yeah, less blood. That was very loved. I loved that there was less blood. Yeah. It's the like the chain of hotels is like owned by like so they have Love Hotel versions, they have other hotels, and I think the only one that had enough availability was the Love Hotel. So yeah, again, it's one of the very many sponsors of the event had been the owner, like the brand of this hotel. It's kind of like, like the Hyatt or the, like whatever, like the Marriott. They have like resorts and then they have just like motel. So it's kind of like that. So this was like, I guess that we were expecting like mid-range hotel and we ended up with like the sort of Love Hotel, it was a great experience. I don't think I'll ever experience that again. So hey, life experience, woo! Anyway, so it is now Saturday. And my stage is at 7 p.m. And so my friends come and pick me up for lunch because I am hungry. So hungry. So my friends come and pick us up, and just me, actually. Just come and pick me up. And then they take me to the Chinatown Mall, where we have like a really nice Filipino food lunch. And we tried a bunch of different things. My favorite thing was kare. It's like curry. And it's kind of like peanut buttery, which I love. So I really enjoyed that. I think that's my new favorite Filipino food. I've had halo-halo before, and it was fine, but it gave me a tummy ache. So the thing is, when you travel, you're not supposed to drink the water. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but because it's different, like, environment to the water that your tummy is used to. So even if it's like a place with like sparkling brooks, like, I don't know, like Sweden or something, you're not supposed to drink it. You get used to it little by little. Halo Halo's made out of ice. And that was, oops. So the last time I went to the Philippines, I broke my stomach on the Halo Halo. It was delicious though, worth it. And I was sick for like 5 days. So this time I was like, no ice. I will drink juice without ice in it. Basically, all my things have to have no ice in it. And if it's cooked, it's fine. Like the curry is fine because it's cooked. But basically, nothing with uncooked water, so that you don't break it. Because I'm only there for 2 days, so like there's no point in, because if you're gonna be there for a couple weeks, you drink the water the first day, have sad tummy days for like 3 or 4 days, and then you're fine, right? Because it's just different gut bacteria. And it's the same. Like when I go back to my home galaxy, I can't drink the water. Like, I was back for a week and I was like, I am only drinking filtered water or like bottled water because I don't have time to get my gut bacteria used to this and then go back to Japan and get new gut bacteria. It's a whole thing. So you just gotta be really careful when you travel. So yeah, so no Halo Halo, but I did like it. But the curry I really, really liked. So I was like, this is my jam. I don't know what the other couple things I ate were, but the curry was the star of the show for me. And then I had mango juice as well. That was yummy. And then we walked around the mall for a bit, and I needed caffeine because I had only had 5 hours of sleep, so we went and got tea. I was like, yay, tea! And then one of my friends took me to like this like art, like student art gallery type place where like a bunch of like independent artists sell their art, and that was really cool. So I got like some little things, like I got this like chewy like necklace, and my friend got like a bunch of like stickers and postcards and things, and that was really cool. And then it was about time for me to get back to the hotel to get ready. So my friends all came back to the hotel with me, and we chatted while I got like all my makeup on and stuff, and that was really fun. Then they came to the show, and then Sunday I had an early show. It was like 11. By the way, the stage is outside. So it wasn't 11, it was 1:30 p.m. So 1:30 p.m. is my next stage. Oh boy, it was hot. Oh, it was like oppressively hot. I would breathe in and it would just be burning my lungs. I was like, oh, it's hard to sing. But it was okay. Honestly, the shows themselves were really fun. The crowd was amazing. Everybody was awesome. Like, I kind of stuck around like the crowd area a little bit after the shows, and I got to meet a lot of really nice people. And that was really, really great. And then, of course, friends that I haven't seen in like a decade. So that was really, really nice. Like, the show itself was fine. The organization was definitely maybe not used to this kind of event, so there was like a couple hiccups, but everybody was really sweet about it. So, like, event staff, 10 out of 10. Definitely has room to grow organization-wise, like, just to keep things a little bit more smooth. And then, yeah, like, curry, 10 out of 10. Unfortunately, like, by the time I watched all the comedians that I was with, and so by the time they finished, I had to then pack because I had to leave it around midnight that night. So I went back to the hotel and I just like ordered something simple like noodles or something for dinner, and yeah, just packed and went back to the airport because Monday I had a friend coming from the UK that I had already planned to meet before I had this show. And then I also had an audition, so I was like, I gotta get back before like 2 p.m. so I can do the audition and see my friends. So, woo! So that was the Philippines. But yeah, like the whole Love Hotel thing was really funny. Naruto. Wait, what event did I perform in? Oh yeah, I was at Matsuri, I think it was. I don't think they've done that event before. I don't really know how it was decided or how they knew about me. I think maybe one of the people on staff knows my manager, because I was invited super last minute. Like, I wasn't in the early announcements or flyers. I was only announced about a week before the show. I was only decided 10 days before the show. I was in I was in my home galaxy when it was decided for sure that I would go. So I was kind of squeezed in last minute, but they had like, you know, Otsukimaki, who did like Chisana Koro ni wa. That's that singer. They had her, they had some magicians, they had some comedians. I was part of the comedian group, although I'm not a comedian. But it's the same management group. My management, by the way, has a lot of comedians. So some of the comedians were from there. So it had like Enishi-san, the guy with the masks. He's been on like Britain's Got Talent and stuff like that. Or yeah, like Star Search, that kind of thing. And there was also like the Wannabes were there. They're like a 3-person comedy group. They do really interesting physical comedy. So I was part of that group. But it was decided super last minute. Yeah, I went back to my home galaxy the week before Manila. It was so much happened. This is why I didn't stream. I really wanted to stream, but like, so April 27th, I went back to my home galaxy. It was a little over a week. It was 10 days. So I went back for 10 days, and then I came back to Japan for about 5 days, and then I went to Manila for 4 days, and then I've been back to in Japan for about a week. But because I kept going abroad, all of my work here in Japan was like piling up really badly. Like, I'm not kidding, it's bad. So in the next 2 weeks, like I'll say I have done 3-4 games, a bunch of stuff for Sanrio, because all of it got shifted to those 5 days I was back, and then last week. And then I've got like a whole anime song that I have to both write and record in the next week. And then I've got like probably the biggest game of my career recording for the rest of, so it's like, oh my gosh, it's like 25 hours of just voiceover, and then there's one more person here that is going to be recording, and I was asked to direct because remote direction takes too long, and they know I know the game really well, and so they were like, can you direct it? And I'm like, do you want me to? Because I'm also a character. Like, I think that's weird. And they were like, yeah, no, we do. So, because, like, you know, so they don't have to stay up until, like, 4 a.m., you know? So I have ended up directing that person, and she's also got, like, 25 hours. And so between the two of us, it's 50 hours over the next 2 weeks. In addition to the anime song that I gotta write and sing, as well as some of my regulars, like the radio show, and, like, you know, Sanrio and Pokemon and stuff like that. So, like, it's rough. And so I managed to just barely squeeze in today's little baby stream, and I hope to have at least a short chatting or Nikkei or something stream next week, but I also have to take it really easy on my voice. So, who knows? Ugh, am I gonna be a main character? Can't say anything. Cannot say anything. I mean, I had a great time in Manila itself. Like, I just thought it was funny. Like, when things, like, happen like that, I think it's funny. And it makes really good content. Thinking like a true content creator. No, I just think it's really funny content. I'm not complaining whatsoever. Like, and the thing is that, like, nobody was being rude or, like, disrespectful. Like, that's, I think, the major difference is, like, when things go wrong, but it's, like, not out of disrespect or anything like that, I don't mind. Like, I have had similar things go wrong at other events that the reason they went wrong is because I was low priority or they just didn't care about me. But I could tell that this event and all the staff cared a lot. Like, they cared a lot. They were trying to do, like, the best thing, and it just didn't work out for one reason or another, and that's okay. I don't mind. Like, none of it had any kind of malicious undertone or, like, none of it was carelessness. Like, none of it was disrespect. It was just different expectations, so I don't mind. What I really, like, get sad about is when, like, for instance, like, if I go to an event and I'm being ignored by the staff, like, if I say something and I'm like, hey, like, this sound check over here, something, and they're like, yeah, that's not me. And then they just leave. I'm like, then find the person it is! I'm a guest! Aye! But at this event, they were like, oh my gosh, let me go check. And I'm like, that's all I need, thank you. Like, so not a problem whatsoever. And if they are like, sorry, we can't do anything about it, but like I super understand. I'm like, okay, I'm good, thank you. That's all I needed. Like, I'm really easygoing generally. Like, I'm not like blue M&Ms only. Like, that's not me. I'm one of the easier people to invite to a thing, cause like, it's not that I have low expectations or anything. It's just that like so many things can go wrong that I expect some things to go wrong. But it's okay because I have backup plans to my backup plans. Like, do you know how many events I've been to where they have asked me to send my music early and then they haven't downloaded it 15 minutes before my stage? That has happened more times than it hasn't happened. And to me, that's carelessness. Like, how do you not have it? I sent it to you weeks ago. You asked me, I sent it to you when you asked me to send it, and you didn't do anything after that, really? Okay. And that's not the case for this one. Thank you, Cypher! I'm really doing my best. I am doing my most best. I have been doing auditions left and right, and some of them, I'm not saying like all of them, but like surprising amounts of them are working out. I'm like, hey, I've never had this much good luck at once. Why? Why? Like, not to toot my own little baby horn or anything like that, but like normally I have to audition like millions of times for even one okay, but like a way larger percent than usual are coming back okay. I was like, really? I mean, I guess I had lots of bad luck too, so I mean, maybe it's like karma balancing out, cause like I've had a lot of silly things go wrong, but then a lot of really great things. So like, you know, I got a 3-year visa, but then tragedy in my family. That was not good. And then I'm getting all of these like legit dream roles. But then I got a love hotel in so, like, you know, then I had to wait 3.5 hours for the Taiko girls to finish their thing. So it's like a balance, I think. Yeah, but like, I mean, it seems to be working out better than not. So, yay! It's insanity. I'm doing okay. But yeah, that's why, like, I'm not mad at, like, I may be like, oh, was that a love hotel in the middle of? I'm not mad about it. Like, honestly, like, the hotel staff were so nice. They were so nice. And all of the event staff were really nice. And, like, yeah, okay, so some things were a little bit messy. But, you know, now they know. So the next one will be better. Yay! And, like, I'm glad that, like, it was me that things went wrong with, because I don't really get mad. I get cranky if I'm really hungry, but I'm not gonna lie. I get cranky if I'm hungry, but I don't get mad easily because so many more awful things could be happening, and none of these things are happening because of anybody disliking me or something. Like, they're not bullied. I'm not being bullied right now. Probably. No, I'm not. And so, like, it's fine. It's fine. I was wondering about you being left hungry for so long. That was no one's fault. Like, none of us thought we were gonna be there for 4 or 5 hours. My staff did run to the convenience store, and got some things. So, like, they got us water. So that's why I had water. And they came back with, like, sweetbreads. I was allergic to one of them. That's not their fault. They didn't know I was allergic. This is okay. I don't know if I got. Oh, I don't think I told you guys, because it happened at the end of March, beginning of April, and I haven't streamed in like forever. My management changed, so it's the same company, but all of the members changed. So my old manager, who I adore, retired. Like, it was time for her to retire. Her health wasn't the best, and so she just has gone freelance entirely, and she is no longer. How do I want to explain this? She's no longer a manager, she's an agent. And she does still, like, try and get things for me, but not as part of the company. So, my CEO of the agency that I'm in has taken over, which is great, because he's the CEO, he's got the most power. And, all of a sudden, I'm getting jobs left and right. What? Thank you, CEO, we love you. So my CEO, who has been the same CEO since I joined this agency, is now directly managing me, which is great. And he has hired 2 new people as free agents. So they are agents rather than managers, and so they work not just with us, but a whole bunch of other places as well. So this job, the Manila Matsuri job, specifically came from one of the agents, and I literally only met him about a month ago. We had like a meeting with like these 2 new agent guys, and he's all like, oh, I'm doing an event in Manila. Let me see if I can get you in. And like he also said something about India. I think there's yet another event in Manila he's looking at. And then like there's like Tokyo Comic Con, stuff like that. So he's all like, yeah, let me just throw you at everything, see what sticks. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then Manila stuck. Don't know if the other ones are going through. I think India's gone through, but I'm not sure. But in any case, it's been really good so far. It's like only been a month, and he's managed to, like, the anime song that I have to do this month is also from him, so I'm like, oh, he's really doing a good job. And like there's a couple TV things that might happen too, so like honestly they're doing really well. Thanks. But because of that, these new guys don't really know much about me. They know what I sound like, they know the work that I've done in the past, but they don't know that I have allergies. I have allergies. I'm allergic to oranges, despite the fact they're round and I love round things. Sad, right? I'm allergic to oranges. Not lemons, not yuzu, not grapefruits. Oranges, very specifically oranges. They give me really, really, really bad migraines, and I also get like memory lapses. It's really not good. I really do not do well with oranges. Don't know exactly what it is. Did go to a doctor and was like, yo, I have this issue with oranges. And he's like, yep, that's a known issue. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, eh. He's like, I don't know, but people get that. And I'm like, does it any other foods? And he's like, stay away from any orange-like thing. So no mikan, no oranges, no clementines, no little fuzzy ones. Just don't eat anything orange. And I was like, okay. But there's oranges in everything. So one of the bread things had orange in it, like orange peel or something, and I was like, nope, not having that. And the other thing that they brought back from the convenience store was like little donuts. I did have a little donut, but everybody only had one little donut, and they were little. So everybody had like bread and a donut, but I couldn't eat the bread, so I had the little donut. And it was really good, but that is all I ate. So it's not like I didn't eat anything. It's just I had gummies, throat candy, and a tiny donut. So I had only had tiny baby junk food. And I was just like, I want food. I was like, I want a burger in my face. Yeah, the cute little donuts from the Philippines. Yeah. They had like chocolate on them. I was like, this is pretty good. I do like this donut. It was good stuff. I was like, this is an excellent snack. Now I want dinner. But yeah. No lebkuchen, because it's got oranges. Yeah, so I'm definitely allergic to oranges, and he just didn't know. So I was like, oh, I'm allergic to oranges. And he's like, oops. Should I go get something else? And I'm like, no, it's fine. We'll finish soon. Because like this was like at 9 p.m. And I'm like, oh no, I'm sure we'll finish soon. Don't worry. That was my fault. I should have told him to go back out there. Should have been like, get me a sandwich. But I'm not very like demanding. So I was just like, oh no, because it's like the first time I've worked with him too. So like I don't want to see him like a diva, right? So I'm like, oh no, thanks for thinking of me, thank you, but no, I'm okay. And I should have been like, get me a sandwich. Get me Jollibee. That's what I should have been like. How? Darn it, I'm too nice. Darn. Yes, bring me Jollibee! I want that! Yeah, so the one that got us food was one of the agents. We had 2 agents with us. So basically it was like the main agent, we'll call him T-kun, and then his subordinate, Z-kun. So T and Z. It was Z that went and got the things, and I had never met Z before. And T was like, oh no, Z, shape up. And I was like, how would he know I have an allergy? Like, it's fine. And he's like, you should have asked. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, it's a weird allergy. He bought bread. Who would think anyone's allergic to bread? Who got you the different hotel? T-kun. T-kun got me the different hotel. Yeah, he had said that he did not sleep because he was so upset with the hotel. Because we were all in the same hotel. So T-kun and Z-kun were also roughing it in this hotel. And T-kun was like, oh no. I'm not having my talents stay in a love hotel. So he's the one that found the hotel. And apparently it took him quite a while to find 9 openings because there's 9 of us, including the 2 agents. And some of them like shared a room. And yeah, I was the only girl. So I could not share a room. But a lot of the other ones were able to be put in like doubles, but I could not share a room with anyone. And it was just difficult to find. I think they ended up needing like 5 rooms. It was difficult to find a place with 5 rooms available really close by to the event. But they found it. Yeah, and it was like a nice hotel too. So like the bathroom was huge. I was like, this place is massive. But yeah. Are you still planning that Tanabata concert, or did things get too busy? I'm really worried things got too busy because I wanted to send that out like 2 weeks ago. Like I wanted to make the Google form 2 weeks ago because Tanabata is July 7th, which would mean that I want the deadline to be July 1st, literally, like legitimately speaking. And I think a month. Well, if I manage, but I don't think I can set anything up this month. Like I just don't think I've got the brain space for that because the setup was time consuming. It wasn't actually that bad to do, but the setup was super time consuming. And I don't think, I do not have a day off until the 31st. That is my next day off. And I've like blocked it off. I'm like not doing anything that day for sure. But like I also don't want to have something that's got less than a 1 month deadline. I'll see, maybe I can get Stella to do it. Maybe. Yeah, that might work. I might get Stella to make it for, like, honestly, Stella's been the best. So I have been so overwhelmed that I haven't been able to answer my emails. And so I've been like, Stella, can you answer my emails? And so she'll just be like, basically Stella's my assistant, like, slightly at the moment. But like, Stella's also got some really exciting stuff on her plate right now, like work-wise. Like, I'm so excited for her, oh my god. So like, I feel really bad, but like, That being said, while she's got some exciting stuff in the pipeline, she's not that busy at the moment. Like compared to like where she was like a month or two ago, she's not that busy. So if she can help me, I might get her to help me. But if she's too busy, that's fine. But yeah. Did she get a spy promotion? How do I want to phrase this? She's meeting her most favorite spy, like, person ever. Like, she's meeting James Bond, basically. So, yeah. Stella is basically meeting James Bond next week. And she's being interviewed. I'm so proud of her. She's being interviewed because the thing that she did recently did well. Maybe? Wait, no. Well, the thing that she did recently did well. And then a thing that she's got coming out soon is highly anticipated, and so she's being interviewed for it. I'm so proud of her. That's gonna be this month. So I think I've got a recording that day, so I won't be home. But I bought some new house plants to make our house extra pretty. I potted them right before the stream. That's why I was a little late starting my stream, as I was potting some plants. Yeah, we got like a new baby tree that I have named Twisty-chan, because it's got like a braided trunk. I don't know what kind of tree this is. And then I've got like a new green plant that's got like, at the bottom, like its leaves are red and dark green, and then it's red and orange in the middle, and then the top it's red and yellow. So I think they fade to red over time. And then, oh, I'm gonna give you a plant update! Blueberries! Blueberryan! So like, I have millions of blueberries. I thought it was dead, but it was just winter, I guess. So now my blueberry plant is taking over the world. My quince, be quincin', it's fine. My lavender has had better days, but I think it's fine. I split my verbena into 2 verbenias because it was getting too big, and they're fine. And then, who's that? Oh, that's a rose. The rose is doing a little too well. I might have to make it stop doing that well, because it's grown like, it's quadrupled in about 2 months. I'm really worried about it. And then I think I killed my manuka. I don't think I knew what to do with that. So I think the manuka's dead, but it has turned into a clover plant, so that's interesting. And then my fern is fernin'. It is doing super great. It's got new fern flowers. They're like little puffball looking things, really cute. And then this is not my plant, it's Stella's plant. It's a begonia. It's not the happiest, but it's alive. Yeah. Stella also secretly bought a plant without telling me. It's coming Wednesday. It's this green and purple plant, so I guess it'll go on the other side of this desk, and then we'll have so many plants! I'm so excited. Villain blueberry. But yeah, so Stella's doing great. My plants are doing great. Yeah. She's been upgraded to X-Family. But yeah, she's meeting the James Bond of her industry. She's really excited. How do you like Little Mermaid and Arcana-chan? So I do have Little Mermaid, but I don't have her leveled up high enough that she's useful to me. But I just got a big power upgrade because you know what I had forgotten about? Making your equipment into like super shiny S rank equipment. I forgot about that function for the longest time. So I just upgraded all of my strong Nikkei equipment into super fudge coated ultra awesome S grade equipment, and now I'm like twice as strong as I was 2 days ago. I was like, oh yeah, this. Whoops. I was wondering why I was so weak. So now I'm strong again. Yay! And oh, I will say though, who was the girl that came with Little Mermaid? The cute little angry girl with the chocolate Splenda Man? I love her. I love her so much. I love her. So I'm using her already. I love her. Forget her name, but I love her. Yeah, Mori-chan! Mori-chan! I love her. She's so my type! Oh, I love her so much. Yeah. So Mori-chan is a new favorite of mine. I do have Little Mermaid. I didn't end up with the overpower Mihara-chan. I tried, but I haven't gotten her yet. And then I'm not pulling on Arcana, but I might. Yay, Ems! I was talking about the Philippines just a bit ago. I was saying how you saved me and fed me. Ems is the one that fed me. I really, really enjoyed the curry so much. That was my favorite thing I ate the whole weekend. Was curry. I love tomboy characters so much. Mori-chan's so cute. So yeah, I got 3 copies of her, and I put her on my wish list so I get more. I love those little angry pointy ones. That like cute things, but they're a tomboy, you know. Oh, super my type. But yeah! It was really hot in the Philippines. But again, as I said earlier, I had a lot of fun while I was there. But like Ems knows, it was fascinating. I stayed at a love hotel. I didn't eat for like 20 hours. Yeah. But I mean, the singing part I enjoyed, and the hanging out with Ems part I enjoyed a lot. I liked singing itself. Oh, one thing that did happen on Sunday is that my music just stopped in the middle of the Dragon Marked for Death song. So I was like, Da Bania Turanda. And then I was like, I don't think I hear anything anymore. But I kept going. I was like, and then I stopped and I was like, did the music stop? And everybody was like, yeah, a while ago. And so I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just continue a cappella. But then the music came back. I was like, are? Wait, where are we? That was silly. But I mean, it happens. I think the Nikkei song, because I did the Nikkei song as well, that also stopped. And I was like, oh, and apparently the video didn't work for that one. So that's sad. Nobody got to see all the cute Nikkeis, but that's okay. We talked about Nikkei a lot. I think I pulled on somebody's screen and they ended up getting, they got like a really fancy like gold character, but it wasn't Little Mermaid. I'm sorry. Can we have your song list from your performance? Sure. So, in Manila, I sang Diana Anthem as the first song. It's just a silly song. And then the second song was... What did I sing? Oh, second song was Set Sail Nikkei. Third song was Little Goody Two Shoes, Ruby Red Shoes. Fourth song was Spinning World from Naruto. Fifth song was Reibo Dambo, which is not a type. Sixth song was Dragon Marked for Death, Fananaja. And the seventh song was Thank You for the Music from Neko Neko Nihonshi. I guess I could write that down. Alright, so first, Diana Anthem, which I don't think I've ever sung here. Cause like, and then second song, oh no! I pressed enter, let me try that again. Yeah! And Anthem. Second song is yeah, it was 7 songs, but like a lot of them are really short. So Diana Anthem's only like a minute and 20 seconds long, and then the Nikkei song Set Sail isn't super long. It's like 3 minutes long. So a lot of them are on the shorter side. And then Little Goody Two Shoes is super short. It's like a minute and 10 seconds. It's like anime size. It's like 90. Yeah, it's like 90-second song. It's like anime opening sized. So, like, a lot of these are half-size songs. So I can fit in more. Little goody two shoes. And then number 4 was Spinning World from Naruto. This one was at full length. Naruto Shippuden. And then 6 was Label Dumbo. Label Dumbo. This is not an anime song. And then the 7th was... No, wait. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot 5. 5 was Label Dumbo. And then 6 was... 6 was... Oh no. What did I just say? Oh no. Oh yeah! Faranaja from Dragon Marked for Death. Marked for a death. Okay. And then the last one is Thank You for the Music. For the music. And this one's from Neko Neko Nihonshi. Oh no, it doesn't fit! Alright, let me do this. No! Marked for Death. And then Thank You for the Music. Neko Nihonshi. Okay. No, it doesn't fit! Cheat. Let me see if I can get it a little bit smaller. Boop. 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 Ah! Hold on, I didn't realize there was like a limit to how big you can make your... To how big you could make your comments. Hold on. Nya. Nya. Did it fit? No. Ah! Oh wait, I can just take that one off. Boop. I guess I could take the numbers off. That would fit. Boop, boop. Boop. Well, that mostly fits. Okay. Well, this is good enough. I'll make Little Goody Two Shoes have like a 2 instead of the word 2. Alright, that fits! Yay! Okay, I did it! Met the character limit. Little Goody Two Shoes has like a 2 instead of the word 2, but it worked! Alright. Aircon song is the best song. Honestly, it's the best one always. If I'm hot or cold, I will sing that song. And I had been warned that the Philippines was so hot. Any Philippine songs? No, because it was originals. So I had to only sing originals. I didn't sing any covers. The reason for that is because I didn't have... Like, stages are zoned for things, right? And I was not zoned for covers. So... I was hot and I was cold, just yes and I was no. In your outro, up in your... I guess I know that song. But yeah, like, it's, generally if, the voice inside is called to an anime-related event, I will sing my anime songs. So basically, I will only sing originals, and if I do covers, it's in a medley. I don't just, like, sing someone else's song. So, this particular event was also specifically, like... It was funded by, like, the Japan Foundation and stuff like that, so it was about celebrating Japan specifically, so it didn't really make sense for me to do Philippine songs. But I'm not against the idea, it's just that's not really what that event was for. And I only had 30 minutes, and I didn't want to take time away from, like, I was there to be an anime person, so I sung anime songs. I was there to sing anime songs. It was a weeb event, yes. That's the type of event I normally do, so I'm very unlikely to do not weeb things. Even when I perform in, like, for instance, like, the United States or something, I don't sing any famous, like, Ariana Grande or anything like that. That's not what I'm there for. I'm not there to sing Wicked. I'm there to sing weeb songs. So, it's not what they called me for. If they wanted that, they'd call Ariana Grande, so... But yeah. Yeah, the sponsor was, like, Japan Foundation and some, like, the tourism board of something or another. So it was all there to be like, look, Japan's fun, come visit. Come visit. Born to weeb. But yeah, honestly, a lot of fun. The first show I did was at night. It was 7 p.m. I wouldn't call it cold. But I did my second show. So I did the same set for both shows. That was Sunday at 1:30 p.m. It was blisteringly hot. I was dying. It was not cool whatsoever. But yeah, Japan has a very strong cultural board that invests in a lot of events like this. Yeah, I've done other events similar to this. Like I went to Myanmar. I've done stuff in like Shanghai. This was my second time at the Philippines, and I think it was Japan Foundation both times. So yeah, I think because I'm not originally from Japan, I'm out of outer space. Because I'm not originally from Japan, they enjoy showing me as an example of like, you could do this too. They're like, this could be you. So please come to Japan. Be our workforce. We have no children. So yeah, I think that's what I'm there for, is to be like, you can join us. When did I go to Myanmar? It was 2016, so it was in a calm point of Myanmar. I'm not sure if I'll ever get a chance like that ever again. It was a wonderful experience. I went to Yangon, and we all went to the temple-y thing, and really enjoyed seeing a lot of like the cultural heritage sites and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if things will calm down enough for me to go again, but honestly, it's one of my favorite places I went because food was delicious. I was like, I'm all about this curry. Food was really good. The people were really friendly and nice, and I'd never met anyone from Myanmar before, so it was really exciting because stuff was happening very shortly before we went, so it was one of the first times they had international relations with Myanmar with the Japan Foundation, so it was really nice to be a part of that. And everybody loves anime. I was like, what? Been sleeping on Myanmar. Everybody loves anime here. So that was really nice. I made a lot of friends, anime buddies. And a lot of really wonderful memories in Myanmar. So hopefully I can go again sometime. Yeah. Pay taxes. So negative, everyone. That's so negative. I was there to put on a happy anime show. That's what I'm there for. Yeah. Oh, complicated profession. Yeah, there's always going to be a bit of a language barrier. Luckily, as an English speaker, it's a little bit less of a barrier, and surprisingly, a lot of people in Myanmar spoke Japanese. Everyone really that came to the show was speaking in Japanese. They were just like a programmer and then like a school teacher, and they all spoke Japanese. And I was like, surprisingly, Japanese works really well for Myanmar. Same with like Singapore and Malaysia, more so than English. I was like, maybe Japanese is the way to go. But since I speak both, it's kind of nice. Philippines as well. There were some people that spoke Japanese. They were more comfortable in Japanese than in English. So I would just go with whatever language seemed to work. But yeah, it was really interesting. Right? Myanmar? Honestly, if they have like their own like anime channel, they should call it Myanmar. That would be amazing! Amazing! Japanese more in Singapore than... English was really good in Singapore, but I did also feel like Japanese worked really well in Singapore. I think because they do a lot of business with Japan. I think the places I tend to be, because I'm usually with the Japan Foundation and stuff, they're expecting to speak Japanese since I'm one of the only people that isn't Japanese only. So they're going in with like, yep, all of the guests are Japanese. And then I'm like, blah, blah, English. And they're like, well, we're in Japanese today. And I'm like, okay. So I think that's part of it, because I'm traveling with a group that is Japan only. My management only speaks Japanese. My agents only speak Japanese. The comedians only speak Japanese. I am the only one that speaks English, and it's a plus, but it's not expected, and I am not going to be their translator because I am busy working on singing and stuff. So, it's difficult, but yes, I could translate for them, but the question is, should I translate them for them? Because I'm not being asked to be a translator. Like, I'm not being, like, I don't want to be like, I'm not paid for that, but like, I'm not. So, I don't want to be that guy though that's like, well, you didn't pay me for that, but like, I'm not. So, it's not expected that I will translate, and if there's like a problem, I will translate. But I'm not gonna hover around being like, do you need translation? Do you need it? That's not my job. That is not what I was brought there for. I was brought there to sing anime songs. So I am treated like a Japanese guest, and that's why I am spoken to in Japanese a lot, which works just fine. Yay! Why couldn't I just stream to the event at home instead of flying there for such a short event? Nah. Because I didn't appear as a VTuber. I was appearing as the voice inside, and they wanted me there physically. So that was a live event for the voice inside, not for Lumin. Anything for Lumin, I will generally stream remotely, but for the voice inside, I am expected to be there in person. That's part of the draw. Part of the draw is that I go physically. Oh, for Manila, that was the voice inside. Lumin is going to Anime North this weekend as Lumin. Totally separate things. So, I think I mentioned this very early on in Lumin, but the voice inside continues to be the voice inside and does live events and voiceover and all sorts of voice inside-y stuff. The voice inside has always appeared at various international conventions, like Myanmar was the voice inside, Shanghai voice inside, Beijing voice inside, bunch of things in America voice inside, Hyper Japan in England voice inside. I've done the Philippines twice now as the voice inside. Lumin is only a year old, and Lumin has a very separate list of events. So Lumin has done different events, there was something in Florida that Lumin did. There was Anifest in Torrance. And then I've got Anime North this weekend that I will be doing like a 1-hour mini concert and meet and greet at. And that's just Lumin. That's not the voice inside. Very different. The voice inside has staff. Lumin has me. I negotiate everything. Totally different. How's CPU-chan doing? Guys, I looked at computers yesterday. Did I buy anything? No, but I looked at them. I have a slightly better idea of what kind of monitor I want now. I talked about it with Stella. So I was at Big Camera yesterday, and I looked at like 1 billion computers, and I didn't like any of them, so I'm just gonna make a custom build, which I already knew I was gonna do, so I guess I just ascertained nothing from that. But, I mean, whatever. I have decided that we're gonna keep everything white and chrome, and nothing else. But white's gonna be the main color, and everything else is chrome. But then, my phone said, bleh. And I was like, phone? You good? And my phone said, and I was like, uh-oh. And then I was like, what? How old's my phone? And then I checked, and I was like, oh, you're pretty old. You're almost 5 years old. So, do I look smoother today than usual, by the way? It's because I bought a new phone this morning. Rip phone-chan. So, I bought a new phone a few hours ago. Just got it all set up right before the stream. And so you might notice that even though I'm wearing glasses today, does my mouth not look significantly better than usual? Like, I am, like, properly, like, enunciating, and it's not just because, like, my mouth is actually... It's my phone. I was like, wait. And then I looked it up, and my old phone was the very, very beginningest of people using facial tracking on phones, because it's pretty old, and so it wasn't actually that good at it, but my new phone is top of the line. It's super new, so it's doing a good job. Good job, phone. Good job. I was wondering how everybody else's faces always looked better than mine, and it's because of my phone. So yes, new phone. It's an iPhone 16 Pro, I guess. I don't know. It's got so much storage, because I was like, I want to play ZZZ on my phone, and girl was like, I play ZZZ. Who do you main? And I was like, oh, Evelyn right now. But I love it. Okay, anyway, it was expensive, but it's okay. I was saving up for it and a computer. I knew that I would have to replace my computer and my phone this year. Like, I was expecting it. I was just thinking I would replace my phone later. But it's okay. I've been saving for about a year now. So I can write it off as a business expense. Woo! My tax lady approves. My tax lady. I did my taxes for my home galaxy last week. I met my tax lady at a cafe near my job because I had no time, and I was like, sorry, tax lady, and she's like, it's okay. So I met my tax lady, and I was like, so here was 2024, and she's all like, why'd you pay so much taxes? And I was like, is this not how taxes work? And she's like, where are your write-offs at? And I'm like, here's my write-offs. And she's like, this is stupid. Why didn't you buy more stuff? And I was like, I didn't have time. And she's like, you usually have more work-related expenses than this. She's like, I see your taxes every year. You've never had this few expenses. Did you not expense things? And I'm like, no, I just didn't buy anything. I was saving. And she's all like, what are you saving for? And I was like, a computer for streaming? And she's all like, why didn't you buy it last year? And I was like, I was planning on it, but I was busy. And she's all like, had you bought the computer, you would have not had to pay this much in taxes. And I was like, okay. And she I was like, but I didn't have time. And she's like, you gotta buy the things so that your taxes aren't stupid. And I'm like, okay. So now she's all mad at me. She's like, you should have bought it. Like, you need to buy it in, like, the end of, like, November so that it doesn't look like you're just trying to write it off on taxes. And I was like, okay. So she's all like, also, why don't you have any investment properties? And I was like, what's an investment? And she's like, do you have any stonks? And I was like, stonks? Should I have stonks? And she's like, She doesn't like how I do things. I was like, I saved money. And she's like, how did you save it? And I was like, I didn't use it. And she's like, that's not how you save money. And I was like, no? Should I put it in a boot or under my mattress? She's like, are you a granny? She's like, are you a little old lady that lives in a boot? Cause like, you certainly act like it. She's like, you gotta invest. And I was like, that seems hard. And she's like, do it though. And I was like, but what if I mess up? And she's all like, you can mess up, it's fine. Just don't mess up a lot. And I'm like, but will you help me? And she's like, no, ask your dad. So I'm gonna ask my dad. Cause I finished paying off my school loans. And she's like, you don't have any debt. You have a job. You're not young. She was dead ass like, you're not young enough to act like this. She's like, you're getting old. She's like, I need to make sure that by the time I retire, you're fine. You're not fine. And I'm like, I save though. And she's like, what about retirement? And I'm like, I'm saving for retirement. And she's all like, how? And I'm like, by putting it in the bank. And she's like, don't. No, you gotta put it. What happens if the banks fail? And I'm like, would they fail? She's like, all the time. So yeah, tax lady doesn't really like how I save money. So I'm gonna have to think. I'm gonna talk to my dad and I'm gonna be like, Dad, how do stonks work? My dad's good at it, so I'll just be like, can you just take my money and do it? Here's like some money. I will set aside like a decided amount of money, and I'll be like, can you do it? Yeah. I could buy gold. I love gold. It's shiny. Yeah, 8% in bank. Like, yeah, like one of my American bank accounts like charges money for existing, and I'm like, this is a terrible idea. I would do better if it was in a shoe. But yeah, hard. But yeah, like, I don't know. I even decentralized my money a bit because I had everything in one account. And last year when I did my taxes, she was like, everything in one account? Oh my gosh. Do not get more accounts. And I'm like, but that seems silly. Like, it's the same money. And she's like, do not put all your eggs in one basket. And I was like, I've heard that before. Okay. So I got a second account and I reactivated my home galaxy account. Also because I was getting work in my home galaxy here and there. Cypher! Lumin stonks! Through the roof! Except probably not because I only stream like once a month apparently.
she's like, I will advise you, but I cannot do it for you because that's not what I do. She's like tax, but she also does this kind of thing as well. She's like a whole accountant kind of person. And she's all like, you need to know what you're doing. So talk to your dad and have him walk you through it. Like maybe invest in the same things he's investing in because it seems to be working out for him. And just have him invest in the same things for you. And then she asked me a little bit, like, she's like, well, when your dad, like, when did he invest? And I'm like, oh, he's been investing in some of these, like, slow growth things since, like, he was, like, in his 20s. Like, he had some stock in, like, I don't know, just, like, normal things, like Apple or something like that. And he's had those since it was, like, a baby. And that's gone well. And so she's like, yeah, your dad seems to know what he's doing, so just talk to him. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll just, you get my dad to help me with stonks. And then she's like, also investment properties. And I was like, I don't think I'm big enough for a house yet. And she's all like, yeah, okay, think about it this way. If you don't buy a house in the next couple years, you will be paying off that house until you're retired. That's dumb. And I was like, wow. And so she's all like, yeah, so you think about it this way, like bank loan, like this many years. Like if you do the math, if you don't buy in the next couple years, no. And I was like, but like, aren't houses really expensive? And she's like, yeah, lots of people buy them. You'll be fine. That's what the loans are for. And I was like, yeah, but I don't like the idea of being in debt because I'm not in debt. I just paid off my student loans. And she's like, sounds like a great time to make a new loan. And I was like, no, but I didn't want a loan. And I wanted some years of freedom. I have no debt. And she was like, that's not how this works. And I was like, but like, I don't know if I'm old enough for a house yet. And she's like, if you can get a house, you should get a house. And I'm like, but I don't think I can make money from a house. And she's like, it's not about making money from your house that you live in. If you want investment properties in other places, like that's a different story. But like first, live in a place that is yours. Have you ever lived in a place that's yours? And I was like, no, I've only lived in apartments my whole life. And she was like, you've never lived in like a house with like a yard. And I was like, no. I've only lived in apartments that I didn't own, that I couldn't paint the walls. And she was like, go get a house. Like, oh no, but I need permanent residency. And she's like, I have a house. I don't have permanent residency. And I was like, because she lives in Japan too. I was like, well, really? You can get a house? And she's like, yeah, it's not that hard. I was like, wait, I heard that I needed permanent residency. And she's all like, no, they'll sell it to anyone that can afford the house. And I was like, what was I waiting for? So yeah, and then my mom showed me this house that I'm in love with where my mom lives. And I want it. But I don't think I'm there yet. So I'm first gonna get a house in a place I live in so I can live in that house. And I talked to my CEO too, because my CEO lives in the same area as me. And I was like, hey, Shacho, should I get a house? And my Shacho's like, yeah. And I was like, really? But won't, like, isn't that dangerous? Like, what if, like, it depreciates in value? And he's like, this is Japan. If you get anything near a station, it'll never depreciate in value. And I was like, how near a station? He's like, 15 minutes or less? It cannot depreciate in value in Tokyo. It'll be expensive, though, but buy it. And I'm like, well, but... And he's like, I bought my apartment. He lives in, like, one of those fancy condo thing apartments. He was like, I bought that 20 years ago, and it's, like, quadruple its price. And I'm like, I've been to your apartment. It's not that big. And he's like, yeah, honestly, it was a great investment. He's like, I'm going to sell it and buy a mansion in the mountains. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, it's my hobby to flip real estate. I want to do that when I retire. And to make sure that people like me don't get their hands on all the properties near the train stations, buy it now. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, a lot of people my age want to retire and then do real estate. So if you buy it now, you might have to, like, you know, pay more than if the bubble burst, but you won't be outpriced by like boomers like me that have bubble money. And I was like, oh, you have bubble money? And he's like, of course I have bubble money, I'm a boomer. And I was like, oh. And he's like, so to make sure people like me don't get the property, buy now. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna talk to my friend who's a real estate agent. But like, I need to buy a computer. So like, I don't know. Like, looking at everything, it looks like house would be 2-3 years down the line. Also because I need to save for that, like a lot. I need to save up. But computer I need to buy now, because my computer is not doing well. But I looked at computer things, and what I'm going to do is there's this place in Akiba that you can go, and you can get them to build it for you. And so I'm going to pick out all the parts I want. I'm going to get that kitty ear case thing, and I'm going to get it all cute and chrome and white, and it's going to live on the desk, and we're going to be great. What's bubble money? That's a great question. So Japan had a big economic bubble in the 80s. It was called the bubble. And people my CEO's age made hecka money in that bubble. Like, his wife is an idol from that era. She's like an 80s idol. And she never has had to work again in her life. She worked for 3 years. And because it was the bubble, she just made crazy money off of like one album. And she doesn't ever need to work again. And he owned a production company in Tokyo during the bubble. And again, just like, if you had like something that survived the bubble, because like it crashed, right? But like some people, especially in the arts, it was fine. And he's fine. That's why he's able to be the CEO of my management while also being the CEO of a production company, while also being the CEO of his own little real estate thing. Like, he doesn't need to work, he just enjoys it. And so he's like, la 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 la, my life is breezy. And so, and like a lot of like old people in Japan in their like 60s-ish are like that. It's everybody that was like doing things important in the 80s. So I wasn't born yet, so I did not get any of that, because Japan's economy went pew, pew, and like, especially if you were in real estate, like oof. But if you were in the arts, not so oof. And anybody that survived the crash just has like crazy money for no reason. And so yeah. That's a lot of the people in the upper echelons of the entertainment industry that are in their like 50s and 60s, mostly 60s, like that are about to retire, but then once they retire, they're gonna play around with real estate. And so he's all like, I recommend going before people like me retire. And he's like, I'm gonna retire in like 7 years, so go now. And I was like, okay. I was born too late. Hey. Our economy has not been very good since then. So basically, the bubble era of Japan was like Japan's greatest economic era, and the crash was really bad. And Japan never quite recovered, so the Japan that I have lived in has always had not the most happening economy, but that's okay. That's okay. Because I like working, so we're good. We're good! Yeah, a lot of people lost a lot in the bubble, but not my Shajo. Not my CEO. He did great. But I would say that the bubble bursting was terrible for 99% of people, and then the 1% it wasn't terrible for are doing too well. Too well. Suspicious. Suspicious! The lost decade, and now it's the lost generation. So yeah, we just don't have any hope. I just assumed that a house would never happen for me, because everybody that owns a house in Japan is like 60. So I was like, oh, they all got their houses during the bubble era. That's never gonna be me. But apparently, a lot of them are really old and moving to like old people homes, and so their houses are becoming on the market. And so a lot of these like bubble era houses are coming on market. And nobody likes to live in old houses, but I do. So I'm just happy to live in these old houses, because these people are moving to like retirement homes and stuff like that. So this is actually not a terrible time to be looking at property, but it's really expensive. And I have to, like, of course, talk to Stella about it. Like, it would be the two of us, because one of us alone could not possibly, one of us alone could not possibly afford even like an inch of Japan. But the two of us together, maybe a postage stamp sized place. Maybe we could live in a postage stamp. Yeah, also, yeah, we don't have a lot of young people in Japan, so, like, I feel like, what are you gonna do with these places? But we do have a lot of overseas buyers coming in, so it's not like it's, and there's a lot of tourism as well, so there's, like, nobody can really read the market, but my CEO seems to think now is a good time, because we're losing some of the older population, but it's not been pinpointed by overseas buyers yet. Like there's no one like vulturing yet. So he's like come in between the old people and the vultures. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you just want to live there, so it's fine. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to live. I'm not trying to flip real estate. I'm just trying to live in a house. I just want a garden, guys. I want to plant my blueberry. I just want to plant my blueberry. You two just get married. Japan doesn't allow that. A, we're not a couple. B, Japan's not there yet. Ask again in 5 years. Japan's getting there. We're getting there. But also we're not a couple. we're not going out. Alright. Gotta change your entire personality from VTuber to real estate house flipper. No. Look at this herringbone floor. Never. Although I do really like those shows. And the history would decide they were roommates. Old houses comes with their own problems. Yeah. I am a little worried about that, but I like old houses. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. I've never lived in an apartment that wasn't at least 30 years old, you know? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But first things first, I buy a computer. And I've been saving up for a computer very diligently for about a year now. So I can buy a computer as long as it's not like super expensive. But I can buy a computer. The phone I was expecting for a little bit later, but I was expecting the phone as well. These are all things I was expecting. Honestly, I could have bought the computer last year. I just didn't have time. So this has just been sitting around in my bank account like, hey, you gonna buy a computer? Hey, that's what I'm for. So I will go buy the computer probably in June because I don't think this laptop will last the summer. The laptop is about 5 years old. It's doing good, but it's not gonna last. The phone was also about 5 years old, so it's now a day old. Good job, phone. Good job. So yeah. Yeah, I love tatami mats. I want a tatami room so bad. It smells good. Tatami smells good. They keep the room cooler. Like, I would prefer tatami, but you know, who knows. But computer, yes. House probably 3-ish years down the line if I save up real good. And Stella saves up real good. But we're both gonna have to save up for it like a lot. But I've never lived in a home, like a house, right? So it's always been a big dream of mine to live in a house with a yard that I could then plant things in. Like, I really want to plant like a hydrangea bush because it's my favorite flower. I want to plant a kimokse. I want to plant a maple. I want to plant a sakura. I want to plant an ume. I want to plant some herbs like lavender and rosemary, although I can't tell them apart, so I will plant them in different places. I want to plant like mint, like lots of things. Like, that's my dream, is to have a garden. So like, I would be happy to live in an apartment if it had a garden, like a courtyard, and it was mine. That's what I want. Like, I don't really care about the house part. I just want the garden part. Cause like, as much as I love gardening on my veranda, I don't. So, like, I want there to be ground. Cause like, I think one of the reasons everything keeps dying all the time is that it's not in the ground, and a lot of these plants do not like being 2 stories up in the air. So, you know, that would be nice. That's my dream, is to live in a house. I've never lived in one. I've always lived in an apartment. I've always had people stomping on my head all the time, or like being loud. I want to be loud. I say that, but I'm the loudest for sure. Thank you, Ibui! Buy a garden and live in a tent house. Pareki, that might work for you, but... Pareki, that might work for you. It's not gonna work for me. I don't like bugs. The manga library. I want like Belle's library, but manga. Fixer-upper homes are always cheaper. Just make sure the copper pipes are still there. I've never thought about pipes before. Wow. There's so many things I have to like research, like stonks and properties, and I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk to my real estate friend because my CEO said that you want to start looking around 2 years before you're ready to buy. And I was like, really? And he's like, at least 6 months, but it's best if you start looking like a year or two ahead of time so that you can find like the property you want before it becomes necessary. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, that way it's a lot easier to make like a rational decision. It was really good advice. I was like, no wonder you do well in business. So yeah, I'm really thankful for all of the advice of like the tax lady and my CEO and stuff like that. Like I guess I've been kind of living in like college mode all these years because like I never thought that I was somebody that could do stonks or like invest in things. Like I was like, oh, I'm a singer and a voice actor, so like none of these things are relevant to me because I'll never have that kind of leeway in my budget or life. And I still don't really think like I definitely do, but like my tax lady seems to think that I should be thinking about it. And she's like, honestly, like you're not going to have that kind of leeway if you don't invest in anything ever. Like that's the difference is like people that she's like, don't be risky, like only ever invest what you're able to lose, but like it doesn't need to be a lot. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So I think, yeah, I just need to stop being a baby. I need to stop being such a baby and I guess think like an adult. Yeah, like I've been in survival college mode for so long, like I still hoard instant ramen and macaroni and cheese just in case, you know. Just in case. Yeah, not everybody gets a chance to earn enough to invest, and I was like, I don't know if I do. And she was like, I know what your taxes look like, and I'm telling you, you're fine for now. And I'm like, but I'm an entertainer, so it could like... The thing is like, in my industry as well, it yo-yos quite heavily. So I'm like, you know, I've had a good... Like, last year was a good year, and I'm expecting this year to do pretty well, too. But, like, last year was specifically a good year. I don't think I'm gonna get another good year like that. And she was like, yes, but because you did have one good year, you should make the most of it and not just hoard. Because she's like, your issue is that you hoard. And I was like, I do, but I think it's like a natural instinct for this industry because I've had, oh my god, I have had some really bad years, and then I've had some okay years, and then like last year was good, mostly because of Card and Seal. And so like I don't know if I'm gonna have that kind of opportunity again. And she's all like, yes, but because you don't know if you're gonna have that, you should make it more stable. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I mean, they say things that make sense. And she's like, what you're doing now is the equivalent of stifling any growth you could have, so I recommend that you don't stifle it when you have the opportunity. And I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense, but I'm just always in survival mode. Yeah, Pricky, I feel like we're kind of similar people. We're like sitting here like, obviously I need to put this somewhere no one can find it. like you get like a little bit of like extra like change, and you're like, I need to put this in a boot that no one will find it. I'll put it under my mattress. But that is not what investors would recommend. They would be like, okay, if you've got a little bit you could stuff under your mattress, stuff it in a slow growth stock. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's what treasuries are for, or CDs. Right? I don't think I like the financial game. I'm not that kind of person. Like, I have a friend that's like really into it, is like stonks, and like, you know, that's what he does. Like, that's his whole job is stonks. And like, I guess I could ask him, but he seems too much of a maverick for me. Like, he does really well, but I'm gonna go with my dad. My dad's like a slow and steady wins the race kind of guy. That's me too. I'm not a like, woo! That's not me. So I think I'm gonna go with my dad. But if my dad's like, oh no, then maybe I'll ask my other friend. But and my dad will probably be like, yeah, I've been waiting my whole life for you to be interested in stonks. So hedge fund man. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what he does. Like, he's just a suspicious guy with too much money. You know what I mean? Like those types that they're just like always like traveling everywhere, and you're like, what do you do? And he's like, a little of this, a little of that. I wrote a program, something. And I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, stonks. No idea what he does. But it's suspicious. I'm sure he's on the up and up, I hope. No, he doesn't do that! No. No, he's really against that kind of thing. Day trading eats at people's soul. I already have a job that eats at your soul. I'm good. I don't need more. I don't need more. Obviously, I should bury it on an island and then draw a map that I then put in a bottle and hide with a series of riddles. Honestly, yeah, that sounds like me. That sounds significantly more like me. You can also just put this, the index funds. Generally stable and follow growth unless there's a crash. I think that's maybe what my dad does. Like, he doesn't even look at them, but every year he gets like a little baby payout and he's like, woo woo. Like, that's his happiness. Thank you, Mami-chan! Arigato! Thank you. Yeah, I think index fund is maybe what my dad... I don't know what they're called. I don't know. My dad just, like, pushes them in there and then he doesn't look at them ever again and they make money somehow. I don't understand this game. I don't like it. I just want to play Nikkei. That's the only game I want to play. Nikkei, ZZZ, and Genshin. That's what I'm going to play. If you do hide it like that, I'd be down to try that series of riddles. Well, you're the one that used to live on a deserted island. You're the one that lived on a deserted island. Financial doesn't produce real things. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Are we getting philosophical? It's literally a game of money. It sounds like something I hate. Earning money means you're earning from some... Oh, no. I don't like the sound of that at all. Yeah, like, that's why I like normally working and making things and then it being not somebody's loss. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly, like, don't like the idea of that. Like, oh, I got more because someone else lost. Sounds like the worst thing ever to me. So, like, I've always been, like, very much, like, a traditional goods and services kind of person. Like, I am very analog. I don't even like using credit cards. Like, it's all tangible. I make a thing. People enjoy it. Yay. Like, I worked at a bookstore before I was a... international pop star sensation, and I thought that made sense. I had a book. You want a book? I give you the book for money. The end. Easy. That's my favorite way to make money. Is, yeah, goods and services and that kind of thing, but I don't know. I also want to retire, like, and not, like, worry about it too much. Like, this is a type of job that there is no real retirement, but realistically speaking, it's also not likely to stay stable throughout the rest of my life. So there's that as well. So I don't know. I'll just ask my dad. I'll ask my dad! My dad's a nice dude. Ugh! Some stocks have cash payout. What? Yeah, I think it's like a little boop at the end of the year is how it works for my dad. Index fund, group stocks, bonus. No, it's already getting too hard for me. Oh no! Shorting. That is hard. Oh, bye-bye, sweet cider. Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to step out soon too, because I got stuff to do. I got a whole recording I still have to do today. All right, let me read some of these. Whole system rewards predator not. Oh, I don't want to be a predator. I'm definitely not an apex predator. Well, cats though. No, but that's not me. Like, I'm definitely like sad hamster. I'm definitely like, no. And I don't think I'm like cutthroat enough for that kind of thing. On money that doesn't actually exist, blah, blah, blah. What are the realest things my dad? Wow, your dad's a philosopher. And then promptly tell me to invest in a company that I'll get dividend off. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, I'll just talk to my dad. I think this is like things dad does. Yeah, I'll just talk to my dad, Meta. That's a good plan. Good plan. Talk to my dad. Works for him, and he's definitely not being like, other people are sad, I'm happy. Like, that's not my dad. My dad's definitely like, yes, I'll make sure that, like, nobody gets hurt through my actions as much as possible. My dad's a very chill guy. So, yeah, I don't even know if I have 2 whole brain cells. I think that's giving me too much credit. I think I have maybe half a brain cell. Long-term investing is more honest, but even there, a lot of companies you invest in might do... Oh, I don't want that. Well, one thing that I would also worry about is, like, I would want to make sure that, like, anything that I put stock into was a place that I believed in its message. Like, I don't know, is there, like, a company owned by cats? Like, if it was, like, cats, then... Oh, speaking of cats, I wonder if Stella's company is publicly traded. I really like her spy company. Anyway, but yeah, like a cat-owned business or something like that. Cafe stonks! Like, you know, something that, like, for instance, like the place that I got Cricket, which was like a cat shelter. Like, that's the kind of place that I wouldn't mind, like, doing stuff with. Because I was like, you know, they do good things for cats. So, like, I don't know, I'll have to do lots of things. Like, I don't know if this is gonna happen anytime soon, but it's something that my tax lady was like, you really need to start thinking about this because you can't just be, like, squirreling money away under your mattress for the rest of your life. And I was like, really? I think I can. But, yeah, who knows? Money isn't real. Nothing is real. I'm not, like, I'm a VTuber. I'm barely real. Reality is false. I'm depressed. Alright. It doesn't sound like it would make much money, but cats. Yeah, non-profit. They don't have stonks. Oh man, I don't have that good of a business sense, and thinking that way just gives it seems. Honestly, I have a terrible business sense because obviously, because my business sense is I'll work really hard. That's my business sense. I'll work really hard until I die. I do pay pension though. So why invest in something you don't understand, right? Yeah, if Dad can't explain it in a way that I understand it, I think I should not do it. Because, like, that's the other thing is, like, if it's too hard for me to understand, it's probably not a good thing for me to mess with. Like, that's why I don't open up my computer and see what's wrong with it. Like, it's a bad idea. So, yeah, I think if it gets to the point where, like, it's too confusing for me to understand it all, Not worth it. Not worth it. Oh, you have a friend that works in banking. Yeah, I own my IP, so we're good. That's why I own my IP, is that I understood how owning my IP worked, but I didn't understand how not owning my IP would work. So I was like, I shall own this. I make the content. I fund the content. It's mine! Yay! Back to the boot! Squirrel it away under my mattress for the rest of my life. And then I'm like, but then if there's like a fire or something, I lose everything. Life's too hard. I just wanna plant plants and sing songs and pet my cat. Voice act. That's all I wanna do. I just wanna voice act. I wanna sing. I wanna water my plants. I wanna pet my cat. I wanna play my games. Those are the 5 things. Oh, I wanna eat good food. 6 things that I wanna do. Life is too hard. Just these 6 things. Alright, let's start a new community where that's all we do. We can pay each other with shells. This is why you buy gold and then put it under the mattress. And then it melts into one piece of mattress gold. That's not a bad idea. I just have a sheet of mattress gold. Gold. Every time I'm on an airplane, they're like, do you have gold bullion with you? You know, like in the customs thing, they're like, let us know if you have any gold bullions. And I'm like, who walks around with those? Those gotta be heavy. Conrad! It's just colored digital energy floating through the YouTubes. Honestly, yeah. I kind of don't entirely understand how these work either. Every once in a while, YouTube's like, hey! And I'm like, oh, hi, YouTube. Konnichiwa! Kite arigatou. Something low liquidity. Something, brain cells. Instead of having cash, you have gold. Honestly, it's shiny, so I'm more drawn to it. Yeah, I think it's funny. Like, hi, I have brought a suitcase full of gold bullions. Like, who does that? I guess if you're moving and you've got gold bullions. Can you make gold soup out of them? Alright. Who walks around with gold? I mean, I've got jewelry, but not like just like bullions. Can make a golden car. Golden throne. Oh man. Alright, thank you, Najin-chan. I need need to get back to work though. Thank you guys so much for sticking around while I talked about my fun love hotel experience, as well as all of the fun stuff I did back in my home galaxy, as well as Manila. And then for some reason I feel like we spent most of it talking about stonks. But yeah, I will. It doesn't take a lot of gold to be worth a lot of money, right? I will let you guys know when my next stream will be, and I'll see if I can stream the Anime North concert at least. I will know probably at least the day before. So I will let you know Friday if I can stream it or not. If I will, it will be on this YouTube. I think somebody else asked if they could, but I'll just double check. Kirariri will be there as well. She's actually in the slot right before mine, so hey. For those of you that also love Kira Lily, because I do, you guys can see us back to back! Back to back! Yes, I'm ending the stream! I gotta go work now! Gotta go work! ごめん、仕事戻んなきゃ But thank you so much for joining me! Thank you. I'm doing well. I know it's like 1ヶ月ぶりなんだけどごめん。短くてすいません。仕事が残っているうえん。そう。But yeah, rewatch party! じゃあまたね See you! Love you!